Do you think you could find Elmore, find out how many guitars he has and what he plans to do with them?
That wouldn't be a problem.
Hello, I'm looking for Elmore Silk.
You're looking for the wrong Silk.
If you're looking for Elmore, he's not here.
Listen, can you just tell me where Elmore is?
Well, it depends.
On what?
I mean, what's in it for me?
No, you're not going yet.
What happened?
Well, usual thing. Suicide, ambition, betrayal.
The road ain't what it used to be, kid.
I will be calling.
Hello there. Have you fallen into an open manhole recently? Do you find yourself in the company of strangers? Well, then you might very well be in the feature underground. My name is still Hunter Lanier, and on today's episode, I am reviewing Candy Mountain. Now, I know what you're thinking. What the hell is Candy Mountain? Well, it was a movie that came out in 1987. Since then, it has earned the Tin Medal of Cult Classic status. And now it is in 2024. It has received a 2K restoration and an accompanying re-release. Although from the press release I was sent, it's only coming out in theaters in New York on October 25th. And then I believe it is coming out on VOD in December. And then presumably there will be a Blu-ray release at some point. But I wanted to review this movie and I wanted to talk about it because, number one, I think it's a great movie. And number two, there's a lot about it that's unique. The first thing I want to talk about that's unique is that the movie is directed by two directors, Robert Frank and Rudy Wurlitzer. The former being most well known for his still photography, not for directing movies, and the latter being well known for being a writer, never having directed a movie before, and he never would direct a movie after Candy Mountain. Each of them, however, had their roots in the same dusty patch of America. The one occupied by vagabonds, poets, truck drivers, guitar pickers, warm-hearted crooks, seekers on the fringes, ungovernable outcasts, quietly free. Frank's black and white photography is striking as much for its stark honesty as for being filled with personality. You'll find the guileless faces of regular folks, as well as Allen Ginsberg and Richard Nixon. And, not too shabby, he's also the artist behind the legendary album cover of Exile on Main Street, which I will proceed to pull out of my pocket. As for Wurlitzer, he's responsible for writing one of the all-time great road movies, Two-Lane Blacktop, as well as one of the great outlaw classics, Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. And so, their two talents merge in Candy Mountain. It's a road movie like Two-Lane Blacktop, in the truest sense. Many movies take place on the road, but few movies are really about the road. Road movies, at their heart, are about the rattling of chains, not about getting from point A to point B. They're uniquely American in their nervous energy to always be moving, exhibited most famously in Easy Rider. In other words, the road movie understands that there's something deep down in the American spirit that just likes the wind in its face. It's a combination of the comfort of the cool air, but also the friction of something working against you and you moving forward regardless. In Candy Mountain, the reason for getting on the road is that our Kerouac surrogate, Julius, is tired of working at his dead-end job and wants to pursue a career as a musician. The only problem is that he doesn't have a guitar and he doesn't have a band. Fate throws Julius a bone, as it is wont to do, out of pity, and he promptly reconfigures the bone into a get-rich-quick scheme, and that scheme first involves hunting down a legendary guitar maker named Elmore Silk. On his asphalt odyssey, he crosses paths with eccentrics of all types, played by great character actors and musicians, such as Tom Waits, Joe Strummer, Dr. John, Leon Redbone, which is appropriate considering how tied up folk music and the blues is into the road myth. It would seem odd to have a road movie and not the blues or folk music, or their child, rock and roll. In his journey, Julius even runs into a gun-toting, free-associating William Burroughs Light. That's how steep this movie is into the road myth. Despite coming out in 1987, when that kind of road mythology, as it is now, wasn't quite the most popular. The only other guy at the time who I think was a obvious descendant of that beatnik culture was Jim Jarmusch. Now, I once heard a film critic say something that it might have been the most I've ever disagreed with any piece of film criticism that I've heard. He said that there should not be a single scene or line of dialogue in a movie that does not move the plot forward. There are movies that are dense in this way, and it works for them. But then there are movies like Candy Mountain. It's the sort of movie that's very light and airy, and understands that empty spaces aren't really empty. I imagine this is partially due to Robert Franks' accomplished career as a photographer, since when you speed him up to 24 pictures a second, I think a lot of those photographer instincts remain. Performances are very unpolished and natural. And the contrast between the experienced character actors and the non-actor musicians creates a really unique dynamic. Wurlitzer is on the same page in terms of utilizing empty space, since the dialogue is, for the most part, sparse and mysterious, circling the wagons of the characters rather than driving straight at them. But as you near the end of the movie, you realize it's really all about Elmore Silk, the guitar maker. He's the magnet that pulls all of these disparate pieces into a picture. And the picture that is created is, I think, a profound realization to a problem that most people don't even know they have. Alrighty, I know that was a quick review. I have a lot of reviews coming out this week, but I wanted to get this one out because I really do like this movie. And it's a road movie, which isn't something you see a lot these days, at least in the way that I described it at the top of the video. It's a movie that, as well respected as I think it is, it never really found its way into the canon, and its re-release is a great excuse to bring it a little more attention to whatever extent that I can. I also think the road movie and the writing of Jack Kerouac are extremely special, and I worry that the stuff that is in that kind of work has been largely forgotten, and the interest in it has waned as our culture has gone from a more nomadic, always look for something better culture into a more nesting, hold on to what you have culture. Alrighty, well, those were all my thoughts, so let me know your thoughts on my thoughts, as always. Like the video if you did like it. Subscribe if you so choose. If you like what I said, if you like the way I said it. If you've seen the movie, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your opinions. If you're thinking about seeing it, let me know. As always, I'm very interested to hear everyone's opinions, whether they align with mine or not. I'm especially interested if your opinions do not align with me, because I'd like to see things from a different angle, if at all possible. This week, I should have a review coming out of Memoirs of a Snail. Is that what it's called? If it's not called that, I'll just put it here somewhere. Memoirs of a Snail and Conclave. I'm seeing both of them very soon, so I'll try to get them both out this week. It's going to be hard. I have a job, but I'm going to get all this stuff done for my lovely viewers. And also, let me know if you like it when I review older movies like this. Up to this point, I've only been doing it if there is some kind of re-release or restoration, as I did with Caligula and The Conversation. But I'm open to reviewing older movies as well, just in general, since that's mostly what I watch. Before I go, I just have to remind you, as I always do, and I'm going to do it until the end of time, that every day underground is a good day.